Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So I've been looking forward to filming this video ever since I asked you for your help over on Instagram. So you guys know I love to involve you guys in my videos, and I think it was a couple weeks ago now I asked you on Instagram to tell me what old products you are still loving. So you guys know that I love to review new makeup. It's always really fun, but at the same time I have been trying to make it more of a conscious point and effort to make sure to include products that we might already own or that are really great that are already out on the market. So that's what we're going to be doing. I had you guys submit old products that you're still loving, and I gathered all the products that I had from the list that you guys gave me, and that's what we're going to be playing with today. We have some very classic products, I feel like, that I'm going to be using today. So let's just get right into it. I think I'm going to start with Complexion. Normally I do eyes first, but I really feel like I'm going to keep it pretty natural looking. So let's just start off with Complexion. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the submissions as we go along, and I'm going to go ahead and put them on the screen. So first up, for primer, it was suggested that I use the NYX Angel Veil Primer. So this one was actually mentioned a couple of times, and I chose it because I personally love this primer, and it had been a while since I used it, so I really wanted to try it out. But yeah, that was from mag_man, and she said that she is still loving the Angel Veil Primer, and it definitely is an older product to the market. I don't even know when this launched, but I know I've used it for a long time. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply this all over the skin, just using my fingers. It's amazing for just the perfect smooth canvas, but I also like it because it doesn't feel too heavy on the skin, you know? So a couple of videos ago, I mentioned to you guys that I had recently gotten a facial and that my face was starting to peel. That was not planned. Normally when I get like a peel, when I go get facials, I make sure to book out my schedule so that I have pre-filmed so I can have downtime while my face falls off, basically. But this time around, it was a little bit of a lighter chemical exfoliant, but it still made my face peel. So there's still some dry patches on the outer portions of my face. So just a little disclaimer as we go along, if the makeup isn't sitting perfectly on my skin, that's why. Okay, so for foundation, there was actually a few people that mentioned this, and it made me excited to use it because it's been so long since I've used this in a video. Guys, I'm gonna try to read your usernames. If I botch them, I'm so sorry. I'm gonna do my best. But Crochet Shen says Bare Minerals Original Foundation is an old product that she's still loving. I mean, I think that's one of probably the most old products that I've ever tried, or at least, I guess I tried it later, but I know it's been around for so long and it's been so many people's holy grail foundation for years now. So I wanted to use it. I actually have been really enjoying mixing two shades. Normally when I wear one shade, I wear the shade Fairly Light 03, but I've been mixing in Golden Fair 04 recently. I feel like it's just a better match for my undertone. So I'm gonna just mix these two half and half just in one of the lids, just like this. And then I'm gonna take my brush that comes with it. Well, it doesn't come with it, but it goes with this. We're gonna do a little buff. Every time I use this, it definitely takes me back because I've used this for so many years. And I'm just gonna start buffing this onto the skin. I'm gonna start in the center of the face and work my way outward. And I'm just continuing to buff and blend this out all over the face. This is honestly still one of my very favorite foundations. Yeah, I just feel like mixing those two shades makes a much better match for me for some reason. It just works perfectly. All right, so next we have concealer. And redhead_EMU says the Maybelline Age Rewind Concealer is an old product that she's still loving, and I would have to agree with this. I haven't stopped loving this since I first tried it years ago. It's been in my makeup collection for forever. And there's a lot of things in my makeup collection that I used to use constantly that I have kind of forgotten about, or it's been replaced by other things. But this is a drugstore concealer that I can't find a replacement for. Like, it's that good. So I'm gonna go ahead and use the shade Fair, and I'm just gonna go ahead and apply a little bit of this under the eyes. I tried not to put too much of the Bare Minerals foundation up close to the eyes so that I could use this concealer, but I feel like the Bare Minerals foundation does a really good job at kind of evening out the overall skin tone, and it's great over blemishes, so I'm not even going to worry about trying to use a liquid concealer over blemishes today. Alright, so I applied that around the eyes, and I'm just going to take my sponge and blend it out. Alright, and then to set the under eyes, I'm going to use a loose powder that I saw mentioned a few times. Now, this is a powder that I'm still trying to figure out. The smell is very strong to me, so it's not one that I reach for a lot, but I know so many of you guys are obsessed with it. So Ashlyn Dillon _ says that the Coty Airspun powder is an old product that she's still loving. So I've got it right here. I bought it because you guys always rave about it, but it just smells so strong. I feel like I can't get past it, but this is like an old product to the market. Like this is something that I know a lot of you said your grandparents use, like your grandma used to use this powder. So it's been on the market and it's been around for years, which is kind of fun, honestly. I'm gonna use this to set the under eyes. And I'm also gonna put some on the eyelid to kind of prep the eyes for eyeshadow. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and bronze up the skin next. We're just gonna keep going with Complexion. And for bronzer, obviously a lot of you guys said Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, but I've been using that a little bit more frequently recently, so I decided to choose someone who said something different. Where is it? All right, Guerlain Kazran. I hope I'm saying that right. She said the Hoola Bronzer is an old product that she's still loving, and honestly, I still love this too. I get so much use out of the Hoola Light Bronzer for my personal skin tone, but I'm gonna mix them today because I know so many people love just the original formula and shade. So I've got the original right here that I'm gonna start with, then I'm gonna blend it out with the light version. I'm just gonna grab a brush, and I'm just gonna start to lightly press this on the skin. This really is something that I feel like will never go out of style, you know? Like this is something that's not really a trendy product. Like I feel like everyone will always and forever use a matte bronzer. The undertone of this is so good. All right, so I've got enough of the original. I'm gonna go ahead and use my Hoola Light. As you can see, it's well loved by me. And I'm gonna use this to kind of blend out the edges a little bit and kind of soften that color just slightly. And I love to use Hoola Light to contour the sides of my nose. It's just a little less harsh than other bronzers that I own, so I feel like it's pretty foolproof for that. Those two colors mixed are really great. I love that. I haven't mixed the two in a long time. I think the color is just perfect. All right, we're gonna go ahead and do highlighter next. I was so excited when I saw somebody mention this because I've been wanting to use it again in a video, but it's limited edition, and I think they brought it back a few months ago, but I looked and it's gone again, but I figured I would use it anyway because I'm sure a lot of you guys have this, and if you don't and you're following along, you can just use one of your favorite highlighters. So Lexi Tucker said the Anastasia Amrezy Highlighter. This highlighter is so good. Here it is right here. I wish this was a permanent item. I stopped using it because it was limited edition, and I usually try not to use too many limited edition items in my videos just because I like to be able to use things that you guys can get if you wanted to. But yeah, this is an amazing highlighter. I've missed it. I haven't worn it in so long. That's why I wanted to wear it. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply this to the high points of the cheeks, down the center of the nose. Oh, that might have emphasized the dry spot on my nose. Oh well. What can you do? I'm gonna go ahead and go over it after I've applied it with my sponge just to kind of melt it into the skin. It's just the perfect like golden highlighter that's not too golden. It's just the perfect undertone. I love it. And the formula is great too. So pretty. Oh, it's been so long since I've worn that. All right, so for blush, there were actually a lot of people that mentioned the MAC Warm Soul blush. I have never tried that. I know a lot of you guys have tried it. I know it's like a classic makeup product, but I have never tried it. So I was gonna buy it for the video because a lot of people kind of mentioned it, but I figured it kind of defeated the purpose of reusing things for me. With that being said, I might end up buying it. Let me know if you guys think I need to try it, MAC Warm Soul, because I haven't yet. So let me know in the comments. A lot of people also talked about these right here, which I am obsessed with, and I wanted to use them again because I agree with everybody who talked about them. So let's see, Natasha Stewart _ beauty said the Alamar Cosmetics Blush Trios. These are so good. I looked on their website and they were on their website right now. So I went and checked on their Instagram page and I found a comment saying that they will restock soon. So hopefully they come back soon, but for now, I'm just gonna use them. I have the palette in the shade Fair Light, which is this one right here, but then I loved that so much that I actually did pick up the medium tan palette, and I get use out of both, honestly. I think they are both incredible. So I'll show you the medium tan palette, and I'm trying to figure out which one I should use. I think maybe I'll start off with using Paraíso in this. It's one of my favorite colors, and it's pretty like foolproof, you know, no matter what lip color I end up wearing or whatever I end up doing on my eyes, it should work with it. So I'm just gonna start with this. These are my favorite to travel with because I'm such a blush person. So this is so much easier to pack just these two blush trios, and then I have 6 different blush options, which might seem excessive for some people, but to me, blush is so important, and so I like to have options. I really love these though. I'm just gonna go ahead and apply that to the apples of the cheeks. These are so pretty, and that's one of my favorite shades, this one right here. So good. I'm gonna quickly jump onto brows. Oh, I just gave it away. Let me find the person who suggested this. Okay, Iris BNNK said the Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil. This is another product that I have continued to love and use for years now. It just is so good, and I haven't really found too many brow pencils that I like to use in place of this. And there are certain occasions where nothing replaces this, where I need my brows to last like nothing else, but I still want a really nice feathered effect. I always reach for this. So I'm just gonna go ahead and fill in my brows. This is the boring part, so I'm just gonna go ahead and kind of speed through this. All right, so the brows are filled in. Next up, we're gonna use an eyeshadow palette that I haven't used in so long. And this is probably something that I should replace in my collection because it's that old, but at the same time, I kind of love that I've had it for so long, and so many of you guys talked about this. This was by far the most mentioned eyeshadow palette. So there were more people than just this person who mentioned this, but Maggie Younger said the Jaclyn Hill first palette with Morphe, which is this right here. This is like the first edition, which tells you how old it is. But seriously, this was the most mentioned. So that's what we're gonna be using today, because I'm sure so many of you guys have this, which is fun, and it's been so long since I've used it. So let's go ahead and see. I'm trying to figure out what kind of look I want to do. I think I'm gonna start off with this shade right here. You guys, I lost the paper with the shade names. I think the newer packaging of this palette has the names on the back of the palette, but this does not, and I have no idea what the names are. So hopefully if you're following along, you can just kind of copy me as I point to each shade. But I'm just gonna go ahead and buff this into the crease and a little bit above as my transition shade. I'm also gonna pinch the brush and just run that on the lower lash line. Okay, so that's a good start. Next, I'm gonna dip into this shade right here, the third one in from the left on the second row. And I'm actually gonna use the same brush. I'm gonna start to kind of build that up on the outer third of the eye. And same thing, I'm just gonna put that on the outer 2/3 of the lower lash line and just kind of buff and blend out toward the end of the brow. I kind of want to do something a little more rosy. I've been eyeing this shade right here, this one. It's kind of a little bit more of like a purpley brown. So I'm gonna take that and start to really deepen up the outer third with this. Yeah, this is a really pretty color. I'm gonna work that into the crease with whatever's left on the brush. And then same thing, I'm just gonna add that to the lower lash line as well. I'm going back in with that first brush we used just to make sure all the edges are super blended. All right, now we get to pick the shimmer shade. I think I wanna use this one right here. This could be really pretty. It's kind of, how would I describe that? Almost like a muted rose gold, maybe? I'm just gonna use my finger and I'm going to apply that all over the eyelid, focusing it on the inner portion of the lid and blending it out across 2/3 of the top lid. Coming back in with my brush just to blend the edges. All right, then we're gonna apply that same shade on the other eye. Same thing, I'm just gonna kind of buff out the edges with that brush we were just using. I didn't add any more product to it, I'm just kind of using it to blend out the edges. So pretty. Okay, I do want to take a more precise brush and I'm going to dip into that same exact metallic rose gold shade. And I'm just going to start adding this to the lower lash line a little bit. Wow, these colors are really nice. I haven't used this in so long, but I could see why so many of you guys are still loving this. They blend really effortlessly too. I'm gonna go back into that matte purple brown shade we just used before using that shimmer shade. I'm just gonna touch up the outer edge a little bit. I just want it to be a little more deep on that outer corner. It's looking pretty. Okay, so next I am going to, what's the difference between these two shades? I think one's more like yellow and one's more pink undertone. Yeah, the first two shades. Okay, well I'm gonna take the more pink one, so that's the first shade in the palette, because I think that undertone will match this eye look really, really well. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pop that in the inner corner. That's so pretty. I'm also gonna take it and just apply it underneath the highest point of the brow to highlight. You know what? I was going to keep this as is, but I want to kind of buff it out a little bit more. I'm gonna use this shade right here. This is beautiful. Again, I don't have the shade names. I'm really sorry. But I want to kind of buff this on the very outer V of the top lid, just because I want to make it just a teensy bit more smoky, just for fun. I'm really into this palette. See, this is why I like doing these videos, because it's been so long, it literally is feeling like a brand new palette to me, which is so fun. I'm also going to take what's left on the brush and just kind of buff it right up against the lash line on the lower lash line. Goodness gracious, that's such a nice like color combo. All right, I'm gonna do the same thing on this eye. You know what I just realized? I feel like when this palette first launched, I was pretty mediocre at eyeshadow. I mean, I wore eyeshadow, but not really. Like, I didn't really do very much as far as like the depth in my eyeshadow. I played it pretty safe. So I'm wondering if that's why I'm enjoying this so much right now, is because I am using some of the deeper tones that I never really reached for when this first launched. Because I just feel like I'm a little more comfortable with these types of tones and using deeper colors. I don't know, just thinking out loud. I'm just taking a clean brush and I'm just buffing around the edges, again, to make sure that everything is super blended. I'm gonna use my Bare Minerals brush and just kind of lightly clean up the edges. See, I would have done my eyes first had I known I was gonna do a full-on smoky eye today, but here we are. What can you do? All right, I think that's good. Let's move on to mascara. So this was actually one of the most requested mascaras that I saw in the little questionnaire on Instagram. So Anna Whalen said the L'Oreal Telescopic Mascara in Carbon Black. Now, I didn't have the Carbon Black version of this. Maybe I should have gone and bought it. I just had the Telescopic, and a couple other people mentioned this. Plus, this was one of the other mascaras that was mentioned in my last video that I involved you guys in, which was the products you always get compliments on. And I ended up using another mascara in that video. So I thought it would be perfect to use it in this video since it was mentioned again. So this is just the L'Oreal Telescopic. Like, all of my sisters love this mascara. At the same time, I feel like they're all much more natural, no makeup kind of gals, and I'm over here with like spidery lashes and a smoky eye. So I feel like we have different taste in mascara, but I also know so many of you guys love this. It's a really good solid lengthening and separating mascara, but you can still build it. Like, I'm able to build it a little bit with the volume, which is nice. I really do love the wand for the lower lashes though. All right, I feel like this is as good as my lashes are gonna get. And I really do like the effect that this gives. It gives a very specific effect to the lashes. It's not too clumpy at all, which I think is why so many people love it. But you do get a lot of length and separation, which is nice too. So I'm just gonna go ahead and wipe off any foundation that's on the lips. All right, so moving on to lip liner. Jessa Albany says the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk lip liner. Now this is like an iconic product. It's one of my all-time favorites as well. So I was really excited when someone mentioned this. I'm gonna go ahead and line and fill in the lips with this. This is another one of those products that I feel like is gonna be around forever, you know? It already has been around for a long time, but it's just so popular. I feel like it will never go away, which is a good thing because I love it too. Well, it's a little more pink than I remember. I probably could have done my eyeshadow a little more pink, but oh well, it still works. All right, so lip liner is on. And then for lipstick, let me try to find it. Jolindi_B said the Almay Lip Vibes lipsticks. Now this was mentioned a few times too by a couple other people. I love these lipsticks so much and they haven't gotten old to me either. I love them. I have the shade Go Wild, which is a little more pink. And then I grabbed the shade Never Regret, which is a little more beigey. Ooh, should I do the beige one to kind of try to match the eyes a little more? I think I will. So again, this is called Never Regret. Let's see how it looks on top of Pillow Talk. I don't know if I've ever tried this combo. Yeah, it definitely makes it more muted and brown, but I actually love the combo. I think that makes a really cool lip color. Well, you guys, I'm loving my makeup. Let's step back and assess the situation and add more bronzer. As always, I'm gonna take a little bit more of my Hoola Light bronzer just to kind of add a tiny bit more depth without going overboard. I always add more on the forehead. We'll do a little bit more on the cheeks too, across the nose, and a little bit down the neck to match everything. Okay, this is where I feel like I could add a little more blush. I'm gonna dip into the Alamar Cosmetics Medium palette, and I'm gonna take the shade Seclusion, which is this gorgeous peach. This is my second most used color. I love it so much, and I'm just gonna kind of pop that on the apples of the cheeks as well, blending it up and out. This blush formula is so good. I love it. All right, and now I'm gonna use my setting spray, and Sharissa is the one who submitted this one. She said the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray is an old product she's still loving. It's another one that I have to agree with. I'm still loving this as well. It's one of my favorites, you guys know. I'm just gonna go ahead and set the face with this. Woo! And then as it kind of dries a little bit, I'm just gonna gently take my sponge and press everything down into the skin one more time. Wait, I do have one more product, hold on. I almost forgot, but Julie Roxy said that an old product she is still loving is the Benefit Gimme Brow. So I've got that right here, and I'm just gonna gently run this through the brows. I'm using the shade 4, which is the same shade I used in the Precisely My Brow Pencil. Oh wow, that is good. I'm not gonna lie, it's been a while since I've used this. Why didn't I remember like how good this was? I know so many of you guys always talk about this too. Ooh, that looks nice. Okay, well folks, I love how my makeup looks. That was honestly so therapeutic. Doing my makeup in general is usually therapeutic for me, but to be able to like dip in to some of these products like the Jaclyn Hill eyeshadow palette and then like Benefit Hoola bronzer and a little bit of like Bare Minerals Original Foundation, I just love it. That was so great. I love how my makeup looks. These are all amazing products and I'm so happy that you guys are still loving these and it makes me excited to keep using them. So thank you to everybody who submitted products over on Instagram. I always appreciate it so much when you guys are so involved and I love including you guys in these videos. It just makes it that much more fun for me. I love my makeup. Oh my gosh, I need to use all of these things more often. So thank you guys for reminding me to reach for these products. I'm so excited about it. Let me know in the comments down below if you didn't get a chance to submit your products over on Instagram. I would love to know what old product you are still loving, so be sure to put that in the comments. Also, I wanted to make sure to thank you guys on YouTube for all of the incredible love and support that we received. On my last video, we launched a new product for my makeup bag brand and you guys, seriously, you made our days. So thank you so much for all of the incredible support you've shown us. It means so much to us. You have no idea. And this is just the beginning. I can't wait to continue to grow the brand and it's all going to be possible because of you. So thank you again and again and again. If you're new here, hi, my name is Allie and I would love for you to join the family. You can do so by hitting the subscribe button. And if you're already a subscriber but you want to be notified on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, click on the bell after you subscribe and you'll get a notification every single time I post. That's it from me today. Tag me if you guys end up like recreating this look or if you follow along because I know so many of you guys own a lot of these products. So I would love to see your recreations over on Instagram. Be sure to follow me there and tag me over there. And yeah, I hope you guys have an amazing day wherever you are and I will see you in my next video. Love you. Bye.